What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So look, we have a new show. And it's ladies night. We got Salt-N-Pepa and SWV. So look at this. It's a reality show that looks like it's going to follow these ladies around while they're getting ready to do this ladies night tour, and I guess throughout the tour. Um Already a few things I'm kind of not understanding, but I'm gonna talk it out. I'm gonna let y'all tell me in the comments because some stuff I don't understand. So let's just start from the beginning. We start off with Salt-N-Pepa getting ready to start off their residency in Vegas, and they're also gonna do this 10-week tour with SWV. Now, I don't know if it was one of those situations where they were trying to broker both deals at the same time and it kind of just came through at the same time, but doing a Vegas residency is a lot to put in place, and you want to try to plan a tour at the same time. That's just a lot. I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'm not saying don't do it. Get your money, ladies. I ain't mad at you, but it is a lot. Now, a few things we see already here from the beginning. One, I didn't know that Salt just got divorced. I'm sorry. Something just popped up on my screen. I didn't know Salt just went through a divorce. I'm sorry to hear, but I know that. Okay, Salt-N-Pepa did a reality show before. I don't know if anybody remember it. It was years ago, long time ago. I want to say it was on VH1, maybe, but it was a long time ago. I think it was only like maybe 2 seasons of it. But we saw them. We saw them hashing out some stuff. You know, for a while, Salt-N-Pepa went through a really bad period where they weren't speaking because Salt had walked away from the group. And she sort of walked away from the group without really giving them a whole lot of explanation and a whole lot of forewarning, which caused a lot of problems on the business side, but also on the friendship side, because Pep was like, well, you just kind of left me hanging. And I don't know if you guys remember when Salt did the show, the song with Kirk Franklin, did Stomp, and she was kind of, you know, she was becoming becoming a lot more spiritual, and she just didn't really want to do the Salt-N-Pepa thing anymore because it was no longer really in line with where she was in her life, and she was focusing on raising her kids and things like that. So the reality show sort of got into all of that. The reality show also dealt with the issues that Salt-N-Pepa had with Spinderella. Again, which you may or may not know, when Salt-N-Pepa signed their their really big payday, they got a really big record deal. Spin didn't really get a piece of the pie. It wasn't divided equally. And Spin's thing was, hey, I've been a part of this group for XYZ years. How come I wasn't a part of that deal? And Salt-N-Pepa's mindset was, well, you came in, but you didn't come in on the beginning. Like, you weren't, in the hatchback with the crates in your lap doing $20 gigs. Like, we put in that grunt work. So when the payday came, it was only fair that we got the payday. And we saw them sort of hash it out. I don't know if clearly there wasn't a resolution because it looked like it's going to come up again this season. But we did see them sort of talk about it. I remember the first time I saw Salt-N-Pepa with Spinderella. I remember when they got rid of, when they fell out with their first DJ, and they talked about her like a dog on stage at the Cap Center. Y'all my DC folks, y'all know who I'm talking about. The Cap Center, y'all know what I'm talking about. I remember seeing them at the Cap Center, and they talked about that first DJ like a dog, and they were talking about Spinderella was this and Spinderella was all that. And y'all remember Spin was young when she first went on tour with Salt-N-Pepa, so she couldn't even really hang with them the same way because she was a lot younger. I want to say she was still in high school. But anyway, I'm sure that's gonna play out as the season goes on. So that's the Salt-N-Pepa. I mean, that's the Salt-N-Pepa side. On the SWV side, we pick up with them. They're in South Africa. I believe it was South Africa. But they're in Africa touring. They're finishing up their tour. They're on their way to Vegas to meet up with Salt-N-Pepa in Vegas. And we see that Coco is actually currently going through a divorce, and it looks like it's not real pretty. They go on a little safari and all of that. So we get to Vegas. Here's one of my first issues with this. And y'all correct me in the comments. I'm sure y'all gonna, if I'm wrong, y'all gonna get it together. The stuff that they look like they trying to work on, it seemed to me like that stuff the manager should have worked on. When you have two groups that both have a great pedigree going on tour together, deciding who's going to open up, who's going to get the most time, what set is this, and how that's going to work, the stuff that they're sitting down and working out, it seems to me That's the stuff that the manager should have worked out, and certainly it should be worked out before you start doing promo and announcing the tour. That's how I feel about it. But again, it's a reality show. I don't know. So everybody gets to Vegas, and the first night they get to Vegas, SWV was doing a show at the Bellagio. So they agreed that they were going to come out on stage. The Salt-N-Pepa was going to come out on stage, to surprise the crowd. And then SWV was going to go off stage, and they were going to perform Push It. And then at the end of Push It, they was going to bring SWV back on stage. Now, Lily is happy as a pig in mud. She is definitely a Salt-N-Pepa stan. She is loving it. She's Salt-N-Pepa and loves Pep especially. And I get it. Like, just because you're a celebrity does not mean that you don't have other celebrity crushes or whatever. So I could get it. Coco, on the other hand, ain't feeling it from day one. When Salt-N-Pepa came backstage. Now, Salt has always been the OCD of the group. Like, okay, we're going to stand here, and then we're going to turn left. Oh, okay, we're going to turn right. Okay, we're going to go at a 90-degree angle. Like, she's always been that person. So when she came backstage, she was like, okay, I just want to make sure I understand. So you guys are going to do this, and then we're going to do that. Then you guys are going to come back on stage and sing with us. And then Lily is going to make the announcement about the tour. And Coco was like, don't be coming back here trying to take over my show, telling me what I'm going to do. And I was like, that's not even what she was doing. She was just trying to make sure she understood what she was doing. That's how I took it. So I was like, all right, we already going to have some problems. I already see how this about to work out. So then we have... so they did that. They announced the tour. Everything was cool. So next we supposed to be meeting up, right? Everybody's supposed to be meeting up to, excuse me, to decide all of these logistics. Coco got a phone call in the middle of the night, or probably not the middle of the night. It's a 3-hour difference or whatever. But she got a phone call saying, well, the 3-hour distance goes the other way. Anyway, neither here nor there. She got a late phone call from her lawyer basically saying, I need you to get back to Virginia ASAP. I don't know what part of Virginia she lives in, but anyway, you need to get back to Virginia ASAP, and it was something dealing with the divorce. So Taj and Lily showed up for the meeting and explained that. And Salt-N-Pepa were understanding, but to a certain point. Sympathetic, but to a certain point. They were like, we get it. Salt was like, hey, I just went through a divorce. I understand what it's like to go through a divorce. She said, but what I also know is I wasn't at my best. Like, I still worked. I still toured. I still did shows. But I wasn't at my best. And so my question / concern is she going to be able to do this? Is she going to be able to do this and perform this at her best? Because I know I wasn't at my best. And they were like, oh, no, she's on board. Everything is cool. It's cool. It's cool. They were like, all right, cool. They were like, so they just kind of end up having dinner because they were like, it's not really a whole lot we can do, without her being here. We can't really make a whole lot of decisions. So the next day, Salt-N-Pepa, they meet up with their stylist and everything. And again, they're having a conversation about the tour. About doing the tour and, concerns about Coco and whether she's going to be able to be there. Now, Spin has been there for... She was the night before at the concert, and she's at this when they meeting up with the stylist. Spin ain't said nothing, and I thought that was very interesting that Spin didn't say a whole lot. And then when she did finally talk, it was towards the end of the conversation, and she just really didn't. She agreed and voiced her concern, but she was just like, okay. I just found it interesting that she was so muted, because I've seen Spin, and she ain't no quiet person, but I just found it interesting that she wasn't saying a whole lot. Well, we have a second meeting with the ladies. The ladies meeting up again to have a conversation about the situation. Coco ain't there again. She missed her flight. It was a delay, something this, something that. So now Salt-N-Pepa is really sitting there like, okay, this is the second meeting we've set up. We get it. We understand life happens, but maybe this ain't the time. Maybe you got to focus on that, because if you can't even make it to the meeting for us to work it out, how we going to move forward with a show? I get it. I do. But at the same time, I'm like, dang. Again, I just feel like some stuff should have already been handled. But okay, not to belabor the point. So then we see they meet up. So the ladies go forward with the meeting anyway. And Salt-N-Pepa were basically like, look, so We feel like y'all should go first. We feel like this. We feel, and basically because Coco wasn't there. Now Coco can be a steamroller, but in that case, I feel like Coco needed to be there because they were just Lily and Taj were just like, okay, yeah, we bow to you. Yeah, yeah, we give credit where credit is due. We've toured with a lot of people, but we respect, who's the bigger draw. We know that it's the Salt-N-Pepa. And I'm like, so is this an equal tour or is this a Salt-N-Pepa tour and they just invited y'all to open for them? Because if this is an equal tour, then y'all need to decide, y'all need to alternate who gonna open. Y'all need to alternate certain things. Y'all need to rotate certain things. But if it's just a Salt-N-Pepa tour and SWV is opening, then it ain't nothing to talk about. Y'all go on first. Y'all do y'all set. Then we gonna do ours and we gonna go home. We'll invite y'all on stage to do Push It or something, and then we going home. So, honey, that's exactly what happened. Coco brought her happy tail back on to Vegas, and when they started telling her how things went down at the meeting, Coco was like, what? She said, no, see, y'all went in there like fans. Y'all didn't go in there like business. And y'all gave them everything. Y'all gave away the farm because y'all are fans. And they were like, no, that's not it. We just respect, they were like, we're going to end with, Push It. She was like, I don't want to end with Push It every night. She was like, why can't we alternate? Which again, if it's a co-tour, I don't see the problem with alternating who closes. Just like I think you should alternate who opens if it's a co-tour. But Coco was like, y'all just gave everything up. And she was like, y'all not going to downplay what we've done and what we've accomplished. Because they were like, well, Push It's just a bigger song. She was like, I don't know. For them, she was like, but, we have signature songs too. We have songs that crossed over. We have songs that have paid our bills for years. And, we should have an opportunity to be able to perform, close out the show and everything. So I think that, and that's pretty much where the episode ended. I think it's going to be a showdown, but I don't necessarily disagree with where Coco was coming from. I feel like I'm going to disagree with her delivery, but I don't know if I'm necessarily disagreeing with where she's coming from because I understand the point she's making. I do. Anyway, that was that. We're going to see how this thing evolves over the next couple of weeks because it's a 10-week tour, so I'm thinking that it ain't going to be more than 10 episodes. Usually they do like a little 10-episode run to see how the show goes. So I'm thinking it's going to be about 10 episodes. We see how it work out, though. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.